Hey guys, how are you today? My name is Amanda and today I'm back with one more episode of Experiencing Conestoga. And today I'm here to tell you 5 reasons why I would recommend Canada as a country for you to come to as an international student. Last week, if you didn't check that out, I told you guys 5 reasons why I chose Canada, so that video was kind of based on what I had in mind back in Brazil and was trying to choose a country to go to and study abroad. And in this video, I'm gonna explain to you 5 reasons why I would recommend Canada. So based on what I've learned after these 2 years of living in Canada. And I hope you guys like this video, so let's get into it. So the first thing that makes it really easy for us international students to be here and to just adapt to the new country is that people here are really nice. That's kind of like a stereotype, like everyone says, oh, Canadians are nice, Canadians are nice. And it's kind of true. Of course, not everyone's nice, but most people are really nice here. So if you ever need any help, let's say you got lost. So the first time I came to Canada, I actually went to Vancouver, and it was just like a tourism thing. So I went to Vancouver, and on the first day that I had to go somewhere, I got lost. I took the wrong bus. I barely knew English, and it was really hard. But a guy just saw me, he saw I was lost, he saw I didn't even know how to use Google Maps, and then he was like, come here, I'll help you, and then he helped me. He was really nice, and just because he wanted to be nice, and that was really helpful. And even like when we don't know how to pronounce a word, or we don't know how to communicate properly in some situations because we don't know a specific word or a specific expression, people tend to be really patient and really helpful, and yeah, it's much easier to establish that communication if the person is nice and patient. So that's nice. So the second thing that is really important for me is coming from a country, I'm from Brazil by the way, coming from a country that really have problems and we really struggle with some things. So things there don't really work properly the way they should be working. So here, I came here and the first time I saw everything working properly and everything, it is so interesting how things work properly here. So for example, the transportation system always worked perfectly fine. I don't know, the healthcare system, I've already used it, works pretty well too. Like everything that is supposed to work in a way actually works in that way. And if you're in a country where things don't work properly or the way they're supposed to, you probably understand what I'm talking about. If you're not, lucky you. The third thing that is really interesting is that here there's so much diversity and so many people from so many different countries. So when I was back in Brazil choosing a country to go to, I was like, oh, I'm going to Canada, and in my head I was like, I'm gonna learn the Canadian experience and the Canadian culture and what they do here and everything. And that was pretty cool. But then when I first got here, I noticed that there's so many people from so many different countries that you kind of learn so much, not just about Canada, but just cultures around the world, which is really cool. The fourth thing that I think it's really cool that you get to experience in Canada is the weather. Of course, all you know about the Canadian weather is the winter and the snow and how tough it is and everything, and that is true. However, there's the fact that here we get to experience all the seasons. Back home, there's only like, for example, where I live, because Brazil is a big country, right? So where I live specifically, there's like the dry season where everything's dry, there's no rain and everything, and there's like the wet season where it rains a lot every day, and that's it. We don't get to experience the spring, the fall, the winter, the summer, because it's always hot. It's barely cold in the winter. So yeah, so when I first got here and I got to experience my first fall, my first spring, my first summer, my first winter, that was magical. It was like I was in a movie. And even the winter, you like, since the weather doesn't last forever, so the winter doesn't last forever, the spring doesn't last forever, you kind of appreciate the kind of activities you get to do while you're in those seasons, and you kind of miss. So for example, if it's the winter, you're probably gonna miss the spring, for example, but you're also gonna really appreciate the things that you can do only during the winter and how pretty it is and how beautiful it is, because it is cold, but it is pretty. No one can say that it's not pretty, because snow is pretty. And the last thing that you get to experience here is that Canada is such a big country and you get to see so many things. So there's a lot of tourism opportunities here. So I've lived in Ontario since I got here, but I've been to Alberta, I've been to Vancouver, I've been to Montreal, I've lived in Toronto for a while. I just like visited a lot of Ontario cities and stuff. So yeah, even if you're really into traveling, you're really into tourism, Canada is definitely a country you should consider because it's really pretty, it's really fun, and at the same time that you can live somewhere in Canada, you can also go somewhere else in Canada that is really pretty, really exciting. So the video of today was about that. I really hope you guys liked it. Please give it a thumbs up if you guys liked it because it really supports our channel. Don't forget to subscribe because we upload videos so often. And yeah, don't forget to leave any comments that you might have or any questions or any suggestions or anything. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Thanks for watching me.